Record. Okay, good morning, everyone. We're officially recording, so if you have anyone that's not on this call, I'll post it in the team page and they can watch it after. And then if anyone pops on late, I'm watching the participants list so I can still add them in. But this morning, our topic is the connection, the invite, and then the flow of conversation. So I think not just as like a brand new coach do we struggle with this, but even when you've been coaching for years, because you're always looking to revamp your invite, you're always looking to connect with new people, and then you're always wondering what the best way to go about conversation is, because every single person you talk to is so unique in what they're gonna say, in their opinions, in their past experience with even Beachbody or maybe just fitness in general. Like everyone's coming at you with something different. So you're always gonna be evolving how you kind of like talk to people and share things. But I'm gonna share some of my tips for these and kind of how I go about it all and the things that I think have worked best for me and even things I've recently changed that are now working better. Because you're gonna learn about this business. What works this month might not work next month. It's just how it goes. You always have to like be able to change and be flexible. Okay, so we're gonna start with the connection. So I kind of put it into 3 categories of how to connect with people. So the first one is through your actual posts. And off to the side here, I have a screenshot of part of Tiff's posts, like her Instagram actual post feed. Oh, I got people waiting. Admit all. There we go. I think. Joining, admit. Sorry guys, I just have some people in the waiting room. I'm trying to let in. Joining. Okay, we should almost be good. If not, I will try to re-add her. Okay, so the first part is the connection. Where was I? Oh yeah, so Instagram posts. So when someone goes to your page, this is basically your storefront, right? Like as soon as you follow new people, and this is very tailored towards Instagram, by the way. I know a lot of you use Facebook as your main thing, and that's great too. If you're working with Facebook, that's awesome. You can use both, like dabble with a little bit of both. Facebook is beneficial because it's like your warmer market, like you know all those people probably in real life. So it's easier to connect with people. Whereas Instagram is probably where you're gonna wanna move to expand that network. Like Instagram's kind of where you go to meet new people and have new eyes on your stuff, and they might not even live in the same country as you. So it's really handy to use both because you're attracting local people, but you're also attracting like people globally. So it just builds your base of people you can connect with. So your actual post on Instagram, when you have new followers or you go follow people, then they follow you back kind of thing, or you're commenting on stuff, the first thing people do is go to your page. So if you follow them or if you comment on something, they're like, who is this girl? And they click your page. So think of it like your storefront. It should kind of sum up you. It shouldn't all be a sweaty selfie. It shouldn't all be like any one thing. It should just be truly authentically you. Little snippets of your life are on there. And then what's really important is the words you put below those posts, because what's going to happen is someone's going to see your page, click a picture they like for whatever reason that they connect with that picture, and then they're going to actually take the time to read what's below it. Your Instagram stories go by so quickly, right? Like you're not writing anything deep on an Instagram story because they have like 15 seconds to look at it. So your post is where you can actually really relate to people, get deep, hit on your like pain points, like have people see you. And that's kind of where the vulnerability side comes in as well. But your posts are where like you get eyes on you essentially. And as soon as someone interacts with a post, now your stories will show up first. Like it all kind of interacts together. So you want to do both. So yeah, posts multiple times a week. I'm not going to give you a number, just whatever feels authentic to you, but multiple times a week you should be showing up on there with a nice new photo. And these are like nice photos, like quality, not even nice, just like a photo you actually like. Whereas stories are like, boom, I don't care what this looks like, it's gone in 15 seconds. But next, connect with people through your stories. So your post is where you get deep, people can read and like really get into your mind more so. Your stories are just you, showing up as you, not as a robot, not as a salesperson, not as someone that intimidates them, but just as a human. And that's where you can share anything, you guys. Like, these go away in 24 hours. Their maximum if it's a video, 15 seconds long. And it's just a way for them to trust you, get to know you on like a life note. So you could post about anything on there. And people love it when it's just like unplanned or unscripted. You know, like when you just like happen to show a snippet of something random, like that's where you're going to get a lot of engagement and people like getting to know you better. And someone on a team call once said, if someone's been watching your stories, they've basically been to your house and had coffee with you. Like, they know who you are. Like, you might not know who they are. You guys, this is awful, but the last 2 times that I've gone for an ultrasound at the hospital, I get stalked by someone in a mask. Keep this in mind. They're wearing scrubs and a mask. And they talk to me and they're just like, hey, you're looking so good. Like, it's so nice to see you. Like, whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, good to see you too. Like, thanks for stopping and saying hi. And I'm like, who the fuck was that? Like, I don't know. And I feel so bad because I have no, and it's like, they're wearing a mask. Like, it's not my fault. And then the time before that, I actually knew who she was. And I was like, her name is Amy. She used to be a challenger. Like, and then she actually texted me and she's like, I don't know if you knew that it was me. And I was like, I actually did. And I was like, for the record, I never do, but I knew who you were. Anyways, so people know who you are just by watching your stuff, even if you don't like, it's just, it's weird. It gets weird, but it's so cool. So your stories are where they get to know you. You've hung out already. You're good. The last one is through their posts and stories. So that connect phase on your tracker, that's actually where you kind of go and make the connections. So you genuinely cruise through people's posts or people's like stories and connect with who you connect with. Like, don't force anything, but if you like make an effort though of like genuinely complimenting someone instead of just thinking it in your head, or genuinely like inquiring something, asking something, like saying a comment that you would normally think and then just like keep going by, like, that dog's cute, and then like not actually say anything. Make sure you make an effort, because a lot of the times those people will be ones who would be normally like, they feel the same way. They wouldn't actually comment on anything of yours because it feels weird. Like, I remember when I first had Instagram, I thought it was so weird to actually message somebody. Like, how dare I be social on social media? Like, it just felt so weird. So you kind of have to make that first effort sometimes just to like build that relationship and get talking to people. And a good one too for your posts and your stories and stuff like that is when you have a poll or something about anything. The other day I asked about bassinets because I picked 3 and I was like, oh, I don't know which one I want. So I was like, maybe the world of Instagram can help me. So I posted it on there and it was the start of so many good conversations because regardless of what they said, I genuinely was interested. So I genuinely had questions like, okay, did your model have the vibration mode? Like, that's literally what I was texting so many people. Or was yours the swivel or not? Like, things like that. And we got into really good chats. So those are now people that I wouldn't have talked to otherwise, but now that we have this thing in common, like, it opens up so many doors. Or even when Piper had her knee surgery, so many random people came out of the woodworks because their dog either also tore its ACL or had the surgery in the past and we could talk about it. So what you're connecting with people doesn't have to be fitness and health related necessarily. It can just be anything to show that you're a real human being. So that's the connection. So you're making posts, you're sharing your own stories that are interactive, and then you're actually going and like creeping on people to learn more about them too. And you'll see sometimes too, when you're going through that, you'll be like, I really like this person. And you'll make more of an effort to connect with them more often because you can see potential in them, or you can see that need, like potential to be a coach, or like, oh, this person would be great in our groups. Or I just want to be their friend. It doesn't even matter. And then you'll also sometimes run across people that you followed that you're like, we would not jam. And then you can unfollow them and it's fine. Like, it's just a good way to know you're following. All right, the invite is the second part. So you've connected. You've been posting on your Instagram page or your Facebook page. You've been putting stories up. Again, these can link from Instagram to Facebook. You've been commenting on other people's stuff to try to get to know your new followers, especially if it says like, so-and-so just followed you. go creep them first, right? Like I always try to connect with my new followers right away in some fashion, just to make sure like I initially have that connection. So now we're on to the invite. 3 types of invites. Again, I made these really broad, but in the DM. So your DM kind of invite, your direct message. So these are people that you message, and this is people watching you. So either they're commenting on your posts, your reels, they're liking things, or they're just watching your stories. Because on Instagram and Facebook both, you can see who's actually watching. And multiple ways you can go about it. You can kind of like make a list of everyone that watched a story one day and then invite 5 every day. Like just look down at your list and invite them. Or I just cruise, like when I'm like, I'm gonna invite today, I'll go to my last story, see who watched it, and then go reach out to them. But these people who are watching you, don't think of them as a cold market. So again, on Instagram, when a lot of people are just strangers, once you built your Instagram a little bit, don't feel like they're your cold market, because they know who you are. Like they're watching you. They know I have a dog. They know I have a husband. They know I'm pregnant. They know I work out in the basement. They know I got a new fire stick. Like they know I'm painting upstairs today. Like they know about you. So it's not that they have no idea who you are and who you're messaging them, why you're messaging them and what it's about. Like it's nothing like that. Because you're basically inviting them to just try what you're doing. Like, hey, do this with me. Like even rocking it, like watching me, like, you know what's up. So again, they've seen your like pain points, objections, like they kind of already have an idea what you're about to invite them to. So if you keep your invite simple, like, hey, I know you've been following my journey of like changing up my fitness and my nutrition. I was wondering if you had questions or if I could help you get started too, like something like that, depending on what your relationship is with them. Or I know you've been watching my stories lately, and we do have like our next little boot camp starting up in February. Is it something that you might want to try? Like getting into these workouts, the same kind of thing that I'm doing. Just keep it chill, keep it casual in your own voice. But those are like the DM messages. And sometimes I just message people, and I have this on the next slide. I have examples for you, but I'll just message them saying like, thanks for following me. I don't know if you follow me for this reason or this reason, but I really appreciate your support, and reach out at any time if you want to chat. And people will just respond and be like, oh, okay, thank you. That's so nice. Like at least you didn't invite them straight out, but you opened that door, and now they know that they can message you if they want to without any pressure. So anyways, it's just getting in people's inboxes. The next one, inviting publicly on your stories. This is what's been working for me right in this season of life. So this is what I'm doing mostly. Stickers. I love my stickers right now. So after you've done your workout and you say something on your workout clips, I used to just post my workout clips and be like, did core today, or like, here's my warm up about the workout. Now I like have a narrative, and it's funny because yesterday I was going back through like old journals to try to get like how I used to think and stuff, or like, because sometimes you don't know what to put on them. So I'll just like look through and be like, oh wow, here's some pain points that I wrote down, or here's something in my journal that's crazy that I used to think, or whatever. It's really handy if you can look back on your journey, or even just think back to when you started, what you thought was hard, what you thought you couldn't do, the things you used to tell yourself. But you want to like pull up objections and pain points that you personally used to have, like your objections, like I don't have time. It's cold. I'm not going to the gym. I'm too tired. I'm too lazy. I had a bad day at work. Think of your own things. Put that on your clips. So be like, I remember, oh, there's Shanique. Sorry, hold on. I have too many windows open on this little screen. Okay, so yeah, so your pain point. I remember when I thought this, I'm so happy this is now how I react to that situation, or I'm so happy this is what I realized. So put something on your workout clips, and then at the end, make sure, this is where I see you guys like, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could, sometimes I'll just message you and be like, you should have had a poll or something on there. Because people will watch that, be like, oh, I resonate with that. I resonate with that. And then at the end, there should be some way for them to show that, like a little poll sticker. So it could say something like anything. It could say like, I totally relate to that. Send me more info. I want to do what you do. Let's get started together. Like, I don't care what you say, as long as you have a way for them to interact. or slide if this resonated with you even. Like Tiff does a really good job of having like emojis above her slider. So she can like, you slide to here if it's that, slide to here if it's that, or slide to here if it's that. Those are fun, like anything that is quick that people can interact with. Or even a quiz, like which one of these relates to you the best, that like we just talked about, and they can pick one. But those are a good way for people to reach out to you without actually having to say words to you. Because again, you're like on social media and it's weird to actually message you because they don't know you in person per se. And then stay consistent. Some days nobody votes. Yesterday, Leland was the only one who voted on my poll. And I was like, thanks, Leland. But then other days you'll get 2 people who are genuinely interested, or you'll get 1 person, or you'll get 3 people, like, or you'll get none. It happens. But if you stay consistent, the right person will hear the right message and be motivated at the right time. Because that's the thing about health and fitness. They're either committed or they're hella not committed. And you have to get them in that mood where they think they can do it. Because again, fitness is like, it's so weird. You're either all in or all out, and you have to catch someone at the right mood and get them in the feels for them to actually reach out to you. So stay consistent with it every day, because that same person one day might be like, you know what? I've watched her say this 6 days in a row and I'm ready now. Like, but if you only post 4 days, they never get to that 6th point where they're like, yep, this is for me. Okay, the last method of inviting is your follow-ups. These are huge, you guys, because most people don't sign up with you the first invite or the first time. They need you to ask them multiple times and follow up and check in. So keep a list of anyone who's like talked to you, like anyone who's interacted. So I don't write down people who ghosted me. Like if I invited someone and they never answered back, their name isn't making it onto a list. But if they answer and say anything that leads me to believe that one day this could be for them, I write their name down and write little notes by it sometimes. Like I'll be like, Jamie_X01, whatever her name is. And then I'll say, invite again in February, is like transitioning into a new job right now or something, like whatever they said that they're like, you know, maybe in the future, but this is happening right now. And you're like, okay, no problem whatsoever. I can send you some free workouts for now if you want to. Like, here's a sample of the one I'm doing right now. Like, as long as they, like, people remember how you make them feel, right? They don't remember what you said per se, but they remember how you make them feel. So if you're like, that's okay, here's a free workout, like make them feel welcome. Then when you invite them in a month or 2, they remember that. So that's always one way to go about it. Follow-ups, again, people who like were gonna sign up and you thought were signing up and then didn't sign up and crushed your soul and you're like, no, they were so close. Again, reach out to them multiple times later. That's fine. I'm gonna read this. People want to know that you remember them and you're genuinely interested in getting them started. Yes, exactly. Note to follow up with them, what to say, exactly. Sometimes in the new year, I had people being like, I'm doing a challenge with my coworkers right now at 60 days. And I was like, awesome. Like, what's your challenge about? Like, go kick some butt. Like, here's my tips, like help them succeed. And then 60 days later, it'd be like, hey, how'd you do at your challenge? Now what? You know, like you just keep chatting about it. Or we recently did this and you're like, that sounds so fun. But stay interested and keep the conversation going. I'm just looking at the chat again. Okay. So yeah, follow-ups, you should have a list and then roughly when you're gonna follow up with them. And my old method, I used a calendar. So I would physically write names on my calendar. Like, oh, I'm gonna message her in 2 weeks. I'd write her name like 2 weeks from that date. So on that date, I knew exactly who I was following up with. Now I just keep a big list and refer back to it once a week just to double check it all, but whatever works for you. But you just don't want to miss people because so often the people you follow up with are ready eventually, right? And a lot of the times the people I sign up are either people who I've messaged and invited like 3 times before, who maybe even ghosted me all 3 times, or they're people who like a year and a half ago were interested and then something happened and then they were off and on and then they're like, okay, I'm ready now. But they keep watching you. You just have to wait for like their time and for them to be ready. Okay, now we're moving on to some examples. So here, these are literally from this week that I just happened to find in my, or I saved them to a highlight so I could go back and screenshot them. But this is what I mean by what kind of I've been doing. So I have to move on my little screens. Okay, so the first one, these programs, workouts, nutrition, and wellness resources, and this community work for me. And then I have the price right there. So now no one's gonna ask me how much this is. And I've never been so consistent with health and fitness my entire life. So again, I just kind of said, these work for me. Moving on. And then, P.S. how fun is this move? And then up here, like, not restriction control, not hours at the gym, just anywhere. You're not alone. And I think that was actually something Autumn said in my workout. And I was like, Autumn, you got this. And so I quickly made a note in my phone and I was like, I'll put that on my workout clip after. Use your trainers, you guys. The things that they say when you're working out are gold. So even if you're just repeating back what your trainer said to you sometimes, go for it. And then my poll at the bottom, and I had more than just these 2 clips. I think I had like 5 of them that day. But the poll options I had were join me in this, just squinting hard, join me in this. And the other one was click for more info. And I had 2 people click for more info and 1 people that clicked join me in this that day. So that's why I screenshotted these ones. So again, I always have a way for them to reach out after I kind of like describe my story. This one was from yesterday. So I think it was yesterday. And I changed it up. So instead of having the poll on my actual workout post, I took a video of our 9-week Control Freak app. And if you guys don't know how to do that on your phone, at any time, you just pull down. I have an iPhone, so it might be different. I don't know what phone you have. But you just drag down. This is probably blurry. And there's a button. It's like a circle and a circle. And it means record your screen. Oops. Anyways. And then it records your screen. It gives you a countdown. And then you can just, anything you do on your phone records. So you can do that to show people Beachbody on demand. You can do that to show people the challenge group. You can do that to show people how to get to anywhere. So you just screen record on your phone. So that's what I did over here. I screen recorded me logging my workout and then scrolling to see other girls who'd kicked butt that day. And then I said, log my workout in our accountability group, helps me stay accountable and connect with incredible like-minded humans. And then the poll was send more info my way. It's time for me to start. So that's how I ended my workout clips yesterday. So yeah, screen recording, super handy. And Kim says, if you don't have that circle in circle, you may need to go activate it in your settings. I had to do that. Totally love it now. So yeah, might have to go activate it in your settings. Okay, time to move all my little boxes here. Okay, so here are some examples. So this is an invite off of a sticker click. So someone who clicked one of my stickers one day. I just said, hey, Kelsey, happy Friday. I saw you voted on my poll about getting some more information on the fitness programs I do. So that was probably off of this sticker here. So click for more info. Some more information on the programs I do. What's your email? I can send you an email with all the FAQ stuff. Have you done at-home workouts before? So very similar. This is how I answer all my sticker ones. Although I'll change the wording. Like I saw you voted on my poll about this. Or sometimes I'll be like, hey, Kelsey, oh my gosh, you have like an adorable family. Because I'll go creep them. I'll see who they are. Or I'll say something like that. And then, what's your email? I'll send you it. And then I always end with a question. Sometimes it's, have you done at-home workouts before? Sometimes it's, what are your fitness goals right now? Sometimes it's, what's the last fitness routine that you were in? Like, I'll just ask some kind of leading question to get to know a little bit more about them so that when I do send them a video that you're gonna see down here, it's kind of tailored to them. Anyways, so she said, thank you. No one go emailing her, okay? Just kidding. My email is, that's her email. I'm only really starting in my workout journey. So that's what she said. Now, here is what I do next. I wish I could show you, but I can't. I leave a voice note and I send the video almost every single time. So I have their email. I'm gonna email them like the FAQ stuff. And you guys can make your own. I highly recommend just making something so that anytime someone wants info, it's just made and ready to send. Canva, use Canva, make like a PDF, and your FAQ could literally just have things that people ask you, like, what do I get? How much is it? And I always just, my email right now only talks about the MBF challenge pack, because that's really what I send. That's what I basically sell everybody, because I love the cordless weighted jump rope personally. So I'm like, everyone needs it. Here's what you get. So my email basically just says like, I made it on Canva, so it's pretty, and then it has like, or actually no, mine's MailChimp right now, but you can use Canva, it's easier. And just have like your price, everything that they get that's included. Maybe you take some little screenshots of what a bod group looks like, take some screenshots of what Beachbody on Demand looks like, whatever you think you want to do, make a cute Canva and just send it in a PDF. And then in your email, you can say something like, hey, who was this, Kelsey? Hey, Kelsey, I know you're just starting your fitness journey. Here's some of the programs I'll recommend you start with. And I'll literally go to YouTube and find the promo videos, stick them in there, find the samples, stick them in there, and then send them the PDF like on Canva that has all the info. But before that, flash back to my little picture here. So I'm just starting my fitness journey. So my voice note to her said something like, hey, Kelsey, that is amazing that you're starting your journey. Don't feel any pressure that you need any fitness background. When I first started, I was 40 pounds heavier and scared shitless, like whatever you want to say. And be like, the first program you can commit to is only a week, and then we can get you onto a 3-week one. And like, just reassure her or answer whatever. It all, again, it's so individualized, but whatever they say back, I do a voice note saying I heard them, and then they hear my voice, and it makes it a lot more personal. Then I take a video of bod, and I used to just take it from my laptop because I only worked out on my laptop, and I would just be like, hey, this is an app version, but here it is on the actual website. It's a lot like Netflix, and I always describe it as Netflix, as people know what that is. It's a lot like Netflix, only instead of picking a TV show, you're picking a workout program. You just follow it day by day, and it has all these nutrition resources, blah, blah, blah. Here's the program I might get you to start on. It's awesome. And your video can only be 59 seconds. Otherwise, you can't send it over Instagram. So it really makes you like, just quickly show them the things, boom, done. And so then here's what she said next. This is great. Thank you for taking the time to show me this. I'll read the email more tonight. That is why I send the voice note and the video, you guys. People don't check their email right away, but if I send them a voice note and a video, they're instantly like, cool, I like that. I'm actually gonna go look at that email. Because again, fitness is a motivation thing. If they're motivated because they're talking to you and you send them an email that they're not gonna check till later they might not be feeling so hot and they might not be into it anymore. So I make sure that I send them that stuff so that they're excited. All right, so she's like, I'll read the email tonight, get back to you if I have any questions, or if I would like to join, happy workout. So I told her in my voice note that I was just about to work out. Moving this. And then I said, sounds good, thanks. So she messaged me later and said, quick question, is the price $186 for the whole year? And I said, yep, that's for all the things, workout, blah, blah, blah. So I listed what she got. She said, that sounds great. I may also, and what you can't read there because I couldn't screenshot all of it. She's like, I also may have a friend who wants to start next month. So that led into me signing her up as a coach so she could sign up her own friend and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, so that was that flow. And this is just like 2 days ago. Kelsey's a coach now, not on this call though. Maybe I'm gonna get her to be a coach and I'll be like, you were in a training video once. But anyways, so that was the flow of that conversation. Next. All right, here is a different invite. This is just an invite from my stories. So someone who's been watching my stories. So I said, hey Brooke, I hope you're having a good Thursday. I've noticed you watching my stories and just wanted to reach out again to say thanks for the support. You're always invited to learn more about the workouts I do and our Fit Fam. Would love to help you get started with them yourself if it's up your alley. And I didn't have her responses and stuff because we kind of went back and forth a little bit. But ultimately, she wanted more info. So I said, okay, I sent you the info email. So here I wasn't at home, so I couldn't just take a video of bod and stuff. So I just typed it out. So instead of sending a voice note and a video, I quickly typed it out. So basically when you register, because again, I don't want to assume she's gonna go look at that email right now. So while she's excited, I gave her the gist of what the email would say anyways. So I sent you the email. Basically, when you register, it's like it's like getting Netflix for a year, only it's workout programs, yoga, meditations, 2 nutrition courses, and as well as a month of our supplements, some equipment, recipes, meal plans, etc. And our app where we run virtual boot camps, similar to our own Instagram, where we can also log goals, workouts, etc. The workout programs are filmed live, so you gradually build from one to another, ranging from 10 minutes to an hour. 1-week programs, 3-week programs, up to 100 days. There's lots for everyone at any type of fitness level. So then she's like, okay, that sounds great, blah, 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 like that kind of thing. We went back and forth about it. She decided she was interested. So I just wanted to show you this as well. So once she was in, I said, yay, yay, okay. I can send you the registration so you have it. Are you more interested in an all-natural pre-workout and chocolate protein powder, or a dense nutrition powder for smoothies and power bites? It would be a combo of vanilla, chocolate, and cafe latte. I love and use all the above, so you can't go wrong, haha. It comes with 1 month worth of them. Pre-workout is amazing for morning workouts and, well, just getting going, lol, a reward for putting your workout clothes on. And then Shakeout was a lifesaver for me because I sucked at healthy lunches. Lots of people love it for snacks or breakfast, but for me it's lunch. Blended with a ton of other stuff, so I'm getting in more veggies, healthy fats, etc. So that way she has all the info. And actually what happened here is she went with Shakeout and Energize. So I didn't just assume or say, because I used to be so afraid, I'd be like, it comes with Shakeout. And I wouldn't even talk about Performance Line, or I'd switch and be like, it comes with a pre-workout and a post-workout. And I wouldn't even tell flavors, because it's like I was nervous if I carried on the conversation too long, they'd back out or something. Whereas now I'm just like, here's your options. But again, if you can voice note that, way easier, you guys. If you're like, hey, you actually get some options. Would you rather, like, saying that like in a voice note is so much easier than typing it out sometimes. But yeah, so what ended up happening here, she's like, you know what? I think I like the sound of the Shakeout or the Shakeology. But I also want to work out in the morning, so I'm not too sure. And I was like, you know what? Let's hook you up with Shakeology. I'll sign you up with a 25% off discount and you'll get that Energized for an extra 35 bucks. And she's like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So you just have to be confident to give people what they need. Don't feel like you're selling people. Be like, okay, what is going to help this person the best? Here's what's going to help you the best. Feel free to delete any of that if you don't want it, but here's the pack that I think will be most beneficial for you. Okay, other invites. I can move all my windows again. Okay, here's a follow-up example. Hey, Brittany, thanks so much for your continued support on my posts. So someone who I've reached out to before, who keeps watching me, maybe wasn't ready. I just wanted to let you know I appreciate it. Have you thought any more about doing what I do? Our bootcamp crew is just getting prepared for January 2021 kickoff group. And then she'll say something like, yes, no, like that's just a follow-up I sent to a lot of people. So yeah, I just acknowledge the fact that, like, thank you for still watching. Have you thought any more about it? Whatever. And your follow-ups will be more personal, because if you know why someone wasn't ready, you can really hone in on that, but that's like a general one. Connection invite. Hey, Cassandra, happy Saturday. I have to move my window because I can't see the bottom. There we go. Happy Saturday. I noticed you liked some of my posts, and I wanted to say thank you so much for the support. Whether you watch for my infertility journey, now pregnant life, fitness journey, recipes, teaching stuff, or motivation, I really do appreciate the love. And if you ever want to chat about any of those things, please reach out. I love these ones when I haven't talked to them before, because I'll get things like, oh, thank you so much for the message. Like, I'm actually pregnant now too. Don't tell anyone. Like, I get so many people being like, I'm pregnant, don't tell, because they know I don't know them or know anything about them. So I'm getting some inspo from you. Or they'll say, thank you so much. You were actually referred to me by a friend because of your infertility journey. Or they'll say, thank you so much. I don't even know how I started following you, but I really find your fitness routines inspirational. Or thank you, I actually like the recipes that you post. Like, you learn more about why people are following you. So I like that one. And it just opens up the door to conversation. And the last one is a coach invite. So when I'm inviting to coaching, I have to have something to invite to. Otherwise I find it harder. So this one, we had a coffee and chat about coaching. So every month we try to have something where we invite to learn about coaching. So this is my invite here. Hey, Haley, I'm beginning to put together a coffee and chat about coaching later next week. What's magical about this is you could send that now. And then if you start getting interest, be like, oh shoot, now I have to plan a coaching and chat. Like you can put the feelers out there. And then once you get some people interested, now it makes you actually do that. It makes you plan a Zoom chat where you talk about coaching. So you could send that out today, even though you don't actually have something planned, but it'll make you get something planned as soon as people are interested. Later next week, and I wanted to put out the feelers to see if it might be something that you want to join. You're at the top of my list of ladies to ask because I think you'd be awesome to get to know better and have in our coach group. And you can change that however you want to. Any more? So I must have invited her before because I said any more thoughts about doing what I do. So she must be someone I've talked to in the past about coaching. But if she wasn't, I would just say, have you ever thought about doing what I do as a coach? Just change it up. Okay, so you've seen different invites. Now here's the flow. So regardless of what type of invite, regardless of anything, here are 3 kind of rules that I follow that you've kind of probably witnessed in all of that already. But the first one, be more interested. Oh, someone's waiting in the waiting room. Sorry. Be more interested than interesting. So just like I said, always end your messages with a question that the sole purpose is just to get to know them better so that you can help them better. If you don't know that they have 3 kids, or if you don't know that they have a knee injury, or if you don't know that they like whatever, like you can't properly help them if you don't have all the facts. So be more interested than interesting. Learn about their goals, their past experience, and their questions and concerns. So those are like the 3 things that I always try to make sure that I know. What are their goals? What's their past experience? Like where do they normally fall off or find it challenging? And then what concerns do they have about doing this? Once you know those 3 things, it's so much easier. Like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be the program for you. Here's what you're gonna need. Here's what you're gonna find. Modify this. Like you can better help them if you know those things. So be more interested than interesting. The next one, feel, felt, found. Every single conversation, I probably do this. So regardless of what they say to you, relate to them using your own story somehow. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. I found this. For example, someone who says, I just started a new job and I'm really worried that I just won't have time. Girl, I know how you feel. When I started, I was a brand new teacher and I felt the exact same way. I found that these workouts being half an hour were actually way easier to fit in, and I'd finish them and be like, whoa, it's only 4:30. Like time goes by. Or I found I don't waste any time because I just change and go and then you're done. Like there's no commute, there's no what machine should I do next or anything like that. There's no waiting on a friend. There's no one to bail on you because you're the one checking in, like whatever it is. Or they could say, I feel like, I don't know, whatever their excuses are, their objections are. But if you go feel, felt, found, it's really useful. Use voice notes, take videos. Oh, there's Mallory. Sorry, waiting room. Okay, the last one, use voice notes, take videos of your bot. So I kind of already said this, but talk it out, especially when people have questions like, or objection style things. Your answer comes across much better in a voice note than it does typed. Because typed, they could read that as a salesy robot, or if it's typed, they could, you know how you can like, I don't know, they can spin that how they want to. If you say it out loud, people hear it in your voice that you're being genuine, that you truly believe in these programs, and that you really want to help them. So if it's any kind of hard topic, I make sure to do a voice note because it just comes off way better. So that's things like price or what do I get, their sign-up options, objections of any kind. These are all way more powerful to answer with voice notes than it is to type it. And again, a little asterisk, always take a video of BOD. I do it every single time. Just show them the screen, describe it as the Netflix of fitness. Make sure you mention with price that they pay once for the year, because what you do after, like, is the supplement stuff comes after. But once for the year, and say you get a month of supplements to try. Because then if they want to keep going, they keep going, you get them a discount. I have like, you can send that out to them after. So I have to move I'm distracted because I can't move this thing. Oh, there we go. And you get all the programs, because some people are still familiar with how Beachbody used to be, where you pay and just get one program. So it's always nice to remind them that you get everything. And then I compare our bod groups to our own private Instagram. So you saw that in one of my previous messages too. So that's the flow. Okay, now I'm opening it up to chat. So takeaways, questions, and I'm gonna quickly cruise through the chat because I was really distracted. Thanks. Oh yeah, and you can unmute yourself. So unmute yourself, say all the things. If you have any comments, takeaways, questions, anything you want to learn more about that we touched on. I'm gonna read this.
Like that was very helpful, because I feel like conversations, even as a coach, how many years in, sometimes I still get like, oh, how do I respond to that? Like I know how, like it's, so I feel like these are really, yeah, it was really good. Thanks for all the information.
And I just read Tiff's response here. She's like, I have a response for both answers on that poll, even if it has nothing to do with Beachbody. That's how you connect to start a combo. 100%. So you can have like a message kind of drafted to send to them.
And I feel like polls that have, like we've talked about this so many times, but polls that have nothing to do with the workouts too are so helpful. Like I think, and always responding to everyone that clicks them, even if it's, yeah.
That is so true. The ones like about the workouts, usually nobody, but like because Shannon mentioned that to me before, so I started doing that as well, and those ones are getting like, yeah, hit on. And then Mallory the other day was like, I'm sorry, I hit on your poll, and I'm like, all good, girl. Like at least if you did, it shows that somebody's marked on it. Like even though I know you're already a part of this, like it's all cool. Like so.
And I like what Tiff said too, if you're not following up, they'll sign up with the coach that is, and it is true.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to touch on a little bit. I've had a lot of success recently with people who have like, you know, like there's so many people like in network marketing now. And I've had people, you know, reach out to me and been like, you know, I had someone else ask me, but like you've been the person who's like actually been like checking in with me and like following up with me, or like you're the person that I see like showing up on your story every day, or like you're the one that's like consistent. So like the power is really, really, really in the follow-up, and like people are going to go with the person that they feel is like the most consistent. And like if you want to be the person that like you want to attract, right? So like if you're on your story every day, and even if like you have a day that you like you don't get your workout in, or like you don't get you didn't eat healthy that day or whatever, like still show up and like talk about that. Like people just want to know that like you're like a real human, and like that there's like good and bad, and like they'll relate to you for that. But like just show up in some way, and like they are going to feel more connected with you. And yeah, I went on a tangent there, but I just feel like people really if they think that you are consistent, or they see you showing up, like you're going to be the person that they go with, like the person that is checking in on them, and the person that they feel cares about them the most. Like that's probably the person that they're going to go with, is what I was going to say.
Yeah. And going off that too, this has been such a weird week, but I had 2 people switch coaches to be under me because their coaches stopped coaching, or they weren't in challenge groups. And it was just, it's kind of cool because it's people get, again, it's that whole energy, and they're seeing you show up, and people need a coach, or they need people that are going to push them, so, or motivate them. So even that's kind of cool too, is that even if someone has a coach, because I've reached out and I didn't know they were a part of Beachbody. So even asking them like, oh, that's awesome. Like, does your coach run challenge groups? Because I mean, sometimes people have a coach, they have Beachbody, but they have nothing. They don't have a community. Yeah. So I always ask, even if they have Beachbody, still be like, oh, that's great. Like, that's really awesome. And what's your, like, does your coach run challenge groups? And that usually opens it up. And both people were like, no. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to steal your coach. I'm not going to steal you from your coach, but just in case like you want something and you don't have ties with that coach, like please feel free to jump into my groups. I would love to have you. And then you send them the form, and boom, they're your customer, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and remember too, if people don't sign up under a coach, they're assigned a coach.
Right.
So a lot of people you talk to that say, oh, I have Beachbody, they just signed up on the website and they got John Smith from Oklahoma as their coach right now. Like they don't actually have what we have. So make sure you ask about that.
Yeah, that
That was
was
cool.
me. When I signed up at first, I had no idea that there was even this kind of a community. So it's been a completely different experience for me, and I love you all so much.
I've
Thank
had,
you for doing this too. This was so helpful.
yeah, this was very helpful. I had one of my friends who does Beachbody, and she gets like she energize and recover consistently all the time. Doesn't want to be a part of any of the groups. I think she's been doing Beachbody for a while, but was really like kind of quiet about it. And then she's like, do you make a commission on something? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, I'm gonna like get them to switch me over to you because I don't know who they put me under, and that's all fine. And I'm like, well, okay, but we have like this community too. And she's like, no, I just want to just do my workouts, but like you get the credit for it. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then still I'm posting about it. She's still watching it. I touched base with her the other day to be like, hey, how's it all going? Because she was doing MBF. And she's like, well, thanks to you, I changed to like Morning Meltdown 100 again because I realized how much I missed Jericho. So now I'm doing that one. And I'm like, awesome. And then she's like, and that body group you were talking about? I'm like, yeah. She's like, if you want to put me in it, that's okay. Like, I might not respond in it, but I might creep. I'm like, that's cool. Do you know how many like awesome little tips are in the like thing? She's like, I just don't want to disappoint you. I'm like, Carrie, I have only been posting in it. I haven't even been in my bod group for the last week because of like work and whatnot. And I'm like, it's all good. You cannot disappoint me like at all. Like, she's like, okay. So I was like, here, Sharon, put her in the group. So I thought that was a little win. So I was like, yay.
Yeah, I think reassuring people that when they join a group, like they don't need to be super consistent, but they'll still get lots of tips and tools out of it. So I always encourage them to be a part of it, even if they want to just be a fly on the wall. Oh, I feel like I'm cutting out. Am I cutting out?
No.
Did I cut out? Okay, my internet went unstable. So okay.
No, you're good.
Yeah, another thing I just want to add is I feel like we have a lot of like newer coaches on this call. So like if you like are a newer coach or like you don't run your own challenge groups yet, like know that like you like the people that you sign up, like you just put them in like your coach's challenge group, and like you can work that way and learn that way and like shadow your coach until you're ready to like branch off and make your own group. So like I know like I see like Melissa, Anita, like Emily, like those are like my coaches on here right now, and like this isn't to say like you guys have to go and make your own groups. Like right now, like you just adding your challengers into my group or Sam's group or Shanique's or Shanique's group or whatever coach invited you on here, like that's a normal process. And like when I started, like all of my challengers went in Sam's group, and then I kind of developed like my own habits and I got like the basics down, and like I kind of learned like more about Beachbody because it's a lot at first, and you're not going to know exactly what to do right at the beginning, and that's okay. Like it's definitely a learning process. So don't feel bad about messaging your coach and asking questions or adding your challengers into your coaches things or sending out your coaches PDFs. Like you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like that's what we're here for. And then yeah, eventually you learn and you will make like your own things and you'll have fun with it. But as a new coach and when you're still learning, like that is what we're here for. And like you are more than welcome to invite your people to our groups and like these training calls. Like if you have a new coach that you want to learn, like I host calls all the time, Sam hosts calls all the time, Shanique hosts calls all the time. Like we work together as a team, and like you are a part of that team, and whatever people you invite or sign up as a coach or sign up as a challenger, like they are automatically welcomed into everything that we do. So I know it can seem overwhelming, but we all kind of take on different roles, and everything that we do, your challengers are a part of as well.
Yeah, I want to add to Tiffany's, like, I was like that VIP challenger, if you will, for Shanique about August 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, you'd be great at this. And I'm like, my time is so like, I'm spread thin just over like everything, even in the pandemic. And I don't understand, like, I don't get that. So if it wasn't for being able to join like Shanique's group with like my challengers that I've got or everything like that, like I'd be like, I'd be lost, especially this past week. Like, I'd be like, yeah, here's a bod group. There's something going on in it because I can't do that, right? Like, so without that support of everybody, like I feel at least super awesome being able to invite people because I know that everybody else kind of has my back and is there for us. So I love that about this community. Definitely.
All right. Well, we've been on here for like an hour, so I'll let you guys go. But thank you all so much for popping on live. And again, I'm gonna hit end and upload this to YouTube and put it on the team page. So anyone who's not here, just send them to the team page once it's posted in there. But have an amazing rest of your Sunday and your weekend. And yeah, that's all I say. Bye.
Bye.